So, Mrs. Graves asked that in addition to the year-end reconciliation, that added to the agenda would be something brought forward by the Board of Ethics. So I'm gonna give the floor to Mrs. Graves.
I would make a motion that we enter into executive session for a matter relating to the employment history of a particular person and or persons and possible disciplinary action that may need to be taken.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor of going into executive session?
Aye.
Aye. Carried. 7:44, we came back into regular session. I'm gonna ask Mrs. Graves to take it from here, and if you need to involve. Yes.
I do believe that the chairman of the Board of Ethics actually is going to give the recommendations.
After meeting on some, our concerns that were brought before the Ethics Committee, the Ethics Committee found that the concerns led to a violation of the employee handbook and were best handled under the employee discipline policy established in the handbook. It did not rise to an ethical committee violation at this time.
I'd like to thank the Ethics Committee for the job that they did. On behalf of the Ethics Committee, if you would go back to them, the ones that, and thank them for their service. You guys don't get paid for that. I know you had to expend a fair amount of time and energy on that, and the town board thanks you for that service.
Thank you.
Why was that in executive session then? If everything you said it was going to be in executive session wasn't, at some point didn't you guys say, hey, we need to come out of this and go into public session to discuss it because it wasn't?
We didn't discuss any particulars of
We didn't discuss any particulars. According to our town employee handbook, there's disciplinary action that would be taken, but.
But there's not going to be
according
disciplinary action taken.
That's not necessarily true. We have a committee that handles these things for the town,
Right.
and if that committee feels, they'd operate separately from the town board. So if they feel that there's something that needs to be addressed, that committee will act in that fashion. If something has to happen out of that committee, then that will be presented at a later time, but at this point in time, there's
Nothing.
nothing. We have a committee for the town
Right.
comprised of Mrs. Graves and Mr. Case
Yeah.
that handle basically HR issues. And if there's something that needs to be addressed, they will handle it.